All right, Wayne Bettis here, the founder of the Off the Tools podcast. I just want to introduce you to our brand new sponsor, directplumbing.supplies.com. It is founded by a former tradesman who has set up his own plumbing and heating merchants. He has an online shop, which is obviously at directplumbing.supplies.com, and he delivers across the UK. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show.
You are now listening to Off the Tools with the one and only Wayne Bettis.
If you're passionate and driven and focused in what you do, people will take notice. You can achieve anything you want to achieve in life.
The excuses are not valid.
Yeah, we are back live on Off the Tools podcast with Wayne Bettis.
I've lost you again.
Francis Rodino, Carolina Cohen, and the usual gang of merry faces. We're here to help you level up your business, level up your life in many different ways with yours truly, Wayne Bettis, looking very confused. Now, last week, actually, since I introduced this new musical intro, we got a lot of feedback. Like everyone was like, Francis, we didn't know you had such an amazing voice. We didn't know you could sing. And what, did you actually write the Wayne's World Wednesdays theme tune? And the feedback was phenomenal. And I thought, you know what? I actually asked Wayne, I said, Wayne, can I actually have my own musical variety show instead? And he didn't actually. I'm still waiting for a reply. It's about a week later. I'm wondering what can do here.
I think we do a vote. We do a vote in the group. See if
so for everyone watching this live feed, if you want me to sing live the Wayne's World Wednesdays official theme tune, put a 1 in the comments in the chat. If you don't want me to sing live in front of this thousands of professionals and business owners in the UK, then put a 0, like you are a 0. And then I will get the message. I know it's very subtle. It's very subtle. Okay, wait, let's see. We got some comments here. I'm a
bit of a fanboy.
Oh, wow. We got some ones. Oh, no, wait. That's all you. Wait. Let's see. Do you have any ones on Facebook? If you want me to sing the Wayne's World Wednesdays theme tune, put a 1 in the chat, whatever channel you are in. If you do not want me to sing, put a 0, meaning you're a big fat 0. Okay. Wait, 101. Okay. Anything on Facebook? Let's see.
Might be the time lag.
Okay, there's there's a time lag. I'll save it. Okay, we're gonna monitor the feed. We're gonna put Carolina throughout the conversation, monitoring the feed to add up manually all of the 1s and all of the 0s, and we're gonna make a determination whether we should keep on singing the Wayne's World Wednesdays theme tune, and then I might actually distribute all the lyrics as well, and we'll get Wayne to sing a duet with me one day.
Oh God, Jesus. Put your earplugs in.
And we want to welcome Etan Basil. Thank you, Etan.
Hello.
I think you're on holiday. And we've got Ryan O'Sullivan on the Zoom.
Hi, Ryan.
Nice to have you, Ryan. Thank you for joining Wayne's World Wednesdays. We're going out live on Facebook and Wayne's community of pretty big, a couple of tens of thousands of eyeballs as well at different times. And so the way it usually works is we have all sorts of expertise that jumps on the call. We got Wayne we got myself, we got Carolina, we got Eton. We're bringing a wealth of experience, everybody with their own stories, with their own insights. We have marketers, we have business owners, we have all sorts of trades, businesses, and we're just here to help each other, right? No one has a vested interest. Really, no, we're not selling anything. We all have independent businesses, but the main point of Wayne's
But you
World
can buy my
Wednesday-
service plan training for $297. Sorry.
Oh, Wayne. Oh, Wayne.
I've lowered the tone, and
I'm not joking. I was going for like the really honest and integrity point of view.
I was just playing.
There you go. And we're here to help. We're here to help.
We
And
are.
so
Yes.
sometimes we have agendas that is absolutely full. Sometimes we invite special guests on to talk about their experiences. And well, Wayne, why don't you kick off? How are things this week? What have you got going on?
What have you done?
Yeah. So who's that talking? Is that Ryan?
Yeah, sorry, mate. Give me 2 minutes, man. I'm just trying to sort this out. One sec, buddy.
That's all right, mate. So things are just ticking over nicely. My end. Got a nice bit of work in the pipeline. It's not frantic, but not quiet. So yeah, for a January, I'm quite. It's February now. Sorry, for a February, it's solid start. I've got a feeling, obviously with the cold weather, obviously the next couple of weeks there's gonna be a lag of lots of stuff that's going to need doing. So yeah, it should be a busy few weeks, and looking forward to it. The lads are busy, so that's the main thing. I just want to say thank you to Ryan for coming on.
What's happening,
Thanks,
guys?
Ryan.
You all right?
How you doing?
Yeah,
good
Kush
to
to
have
yourself. Yeah, nice
Yeah,
one.
good man.
Good.
So for those that, I've spoke to Ryan a couple of times on Messenger. That's about it, really. As with the Facebook, I've stalked him out, so I know a little bit about him. And he has, well, from what I can see, he has a very decent business. I believe you're based down in South London area-ish, is it? Am I right?
I tell you what, I love your hats, by the way, boys. No excuse. And girls, sorry, Carolina. That's quality.
Yeah,
no excuses.
My little tagline, that one
That's
is.
good,
Sorry, Francis.
I'd like to do a little intro on Ryan as well, because we go back just a little bit. So my very first interview was with a nice lady called Sarah Corderman. And I used to live in Kingston. And you see, the thing is that on the way to the Tesco's, I used to pass by Rye. Okay, that's Ryan's business. I used to see these awesome vehicles and branding right outside, like a fleet. And I thought, you know what, this is a great example of a standout business. And so I managed to call a few times, sort of get in there a little bit. And I had this really cool conversation with Sarah. We did a video. It's on our website as well. That was back in the day when we were actually called we had a different name for the business. And then we morphed into Lead Hero, and one thing led to another. And it's a great, we're always interested in talking to people who are actually building sustainable, successful businesses in very competitive markets, because they're usually doing things that other people are not. Yeah, that they usually have a little bit of a secret sauce, whether it's the owner or the team or just the way they innovate, the way they do their branding and stand out. And so, yeah, it's great to have Ryan on. And
I appreciate it. Like I say, I know before you guys have said it, but I moved house, so I've never settled, sort of thing. But by the way, is it Etan?
Etan.
Cheers, Etan.
Yeah.
But thanks. I've obviously recently been tuning in more to you guys. You're doing bits. Well done. It's good.
So I'll kick us off with a question, and just let Ryan, how did you get started? Tell us your story. Where did it all come from?
basically I got rejected in a way, and I used to be pretty good at football as a youngster. Thought I was going to be a professional football player. Didn't happen. Sort of got released when I was 16 or 17 years old, and from that point onwards, didn't really know what to do apart from use my hands, which I'd done as a kid. When I was at school and stuff, I didn't really want to be there. I'd always be digging ponds in my garden or doing fencing or doing something with my hands. So went into college, just about got into college, got some carpentry skills behind me. I'd done a year or two at college doing carpentry, got my level 2, and then went into British Gas, done an apprenticeship with British Gas, doing boiler breakdowns and servicing really. There wasn't much progress there. Couldn't get into installations, couldn't get into even power flushing or cylinders or anything like that. So done night college for electrics, become an electrician and jumped ship really. And yeah, just started a plumbing and electrical business originally. Focused more on gas because back then there was a bit more. How do you say it without, I suppose, being blunt? There was more money in gas than electrics in 2008 and stuff. Whereas I think recently now electrics is actually sort of caught on, and gas might in 10 years sort of dip off and electrics might take over. But then maybe, I don't know, 2021 now, 2014 started concentrating on the electrics to try and catch up with the gas, which was a more busy side to the business. And yeah, here I am now, 34 soon. Wayne, I think you're about a month older than me, are you?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you feel any older?
Yeah, I do. It's like the next year is going to be the killer when I'm 35. Like that's too close to 40 for my liking.
Yeah, it's when you're sort of creeping towards more 40 than 30, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no. So that's that. Obviously, Sarah, you've met Frances. She's been a big help for me. I'd be blagging it to say I've done it all on my own. She's really good. She's a good businesswoman, and she sort of took the Del boy out of me of going around being a sole trader and put software into the business and all sorts of other stuff, and implemented all the things that you want to get around to implement, and then you never got time, sort of thing. So am I right in saying that everyone here is a tradesperson, right?
So who's on the people on the call? So it's just me, Etan runs a plumbing and heating business.
Yeah.
Obviously, I run a plumbing and heating business.
Yeah, I've seen you. You've got a good website, haven't you, mate? You've got a coin name.
yournewboiler.com.
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's good. Really good.
Thank you. Yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah,
I've got a question for you, right? Whose idea was the branding? Because your vans are like, you cannot miss them. Like you'll have to post a photo of them for anyone that hasn't seen it.
That's you know what, that's me and Sarah are obviously together as well in a relationship. And if I answered that, she's in the other room in a minute. It's probably going to cause an argument, sort of thing. I would say it's me. She would say it's her. So I suppose it's 50-50 on it.
It come from within, though. It wasn't like It come from within.
I picked the colour orange. In fact, actually, we're going for a massive branding issue at the moment where we were known as one business that we try, like what you guys have done, right? You change your name and you just got to carry on, haven't you? Like with changing your name, people try and keep using your old name, and you got to correct them. I was thinking of one the other day. Do you remember Norwich Union? And they changed to Aviva, didn't they? But yeah. Oh, here we go.
Look at that. Absolute first class, I mean, that is.
It is, but you know what? It's a Marmite, and some people hate it.
Yeah.
But even like this website we've got at the minute, we're changing that website. That's only a temporary website, and even that domain name, it's that's not the right one at the minute. So we're up against it at the moment because I want to share your thing on Facebook, guys, but it won't let me share it. I don't think.
I think Francis can set it so you can.
Yeah, if you...
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I can do it now.
Yeah, okay.
So for those listening to the audio, my apologies. If you want to watch the video, you'll have to go onto YouTube or Facebook, just so you know.
Yeah. So that's, I suppose, where we're at with the vans. Yeah, some people, we sponsor AFC Wimbledon, and the other day on the AFC Wimbledon group, I seen someone say, "Oh, yeah, they need help because obviously their vans are rubbish and their vans are horrible and stuff." So it's one of them things. But you know what? I don't mind. It's if you stand out, that's the best thing, and especially in today's society and today's business, you have to peacock, don't you? You have to stand out, you know. But
there's got to be something to differentiate you, otherwise you just blend in with the crowd, don't you? So
do you know what? There's a place called Sutton near where I'm from. I'm originally from a place called Merton, which is sort of the posh part of Merton is Wimbledon. But there's this place called Sutton, and originally my first van was like a dark blue, and then someone got dark blue, copied my van print, then I went black, and then someone else, you know, they went black, and then I went black and orange, and then they went black and orange. In the end, I was like, you know what? I'm just going flat out orange and touch wood. No one has copied in the local area again since.
So do you serve the whole of London then? Do you, or is that the ambition to serve the whole?
Yeah, we do, subject to like anything, availability. Like the size we're at the moment, we're getting bigger and bigger. So now, naturally, like I looked at the diary today, and for instance, I had an engineer in SL5, which I think is Slough or somewhere. Then I had an engineer in Kent, and then I had someone in West London. So we're definitely naturally serving more areas now. But I think now we've got to start getting more engineers from the areas that we're serving, because I think in a way, from being on the tools and stuff, it's a bit annoying, isn't it, when you see your travel time that you've got to drive around between jobs and stuff, you know, it's sort of burning people really, and then you've got to allow for travel time and jobs and stuff. But do you know what? I love trades. I love the business. There's so many different opportunities out there, isn't there, you know? So
do you spend, because I like I say, I've been looking up you online and getting to know you a little bit from what you post and stuff, and you still got the tool bag out, yeah? You still go out and do a shift every now and then?
Do you know what? I want to say I do, but I'll be lying. I don't. But recently I started going and doing bits on the tools. But my dad's a black cabbie in London, sort of thing, and obviously the black cab industry is absolutely it's smashed at the moment for whatever reason, whether it be Uber, whether it be London shutting, or whether it be Corona. And my dad basically, with him not working, he wouldn't take any money really. So the only way I could sort of say to him to take a bit would be, well, I'll just go and earn it on a Saturday or a Sunday after hours. So then that way he wasn't really taking any handouts. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, recently in the last month or two, I've been doing bits on Saturdays and Sundays, but I don't really get the chance to do it. And at the same time, if I do it, I'm sort of, it's sort of the wrong move, because if I'm doing it, I need to get a new engineer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, it's stopping the progression. But in the last few years, I bought a few developments, and they sort of took a lot of my time up. But in a good way, I sort of managed. I had a bit too much on my plate at once. I managed to finish off my plate, and now I'm 100% focused on the trade maintenance services business. So I wish this COVID would like everyone would stop, because it's just a nuisance, isn't it? You know, there was a woman today, and we went into her house, and it was naturally a condense that was knackered, but the boiler's like in bits, literally. They need a new boiler, but they're just too worried about everything to let us in the house to fit them a new boiler, you know. And that's the tough decisions people now got to make: is are they going to sit there and be cold, or take the risk of letting someone in their house? But I tell you one thing: like all these youngsters that we better keep up the pace and make sure we're the best, because all these youngsters now that are coming out of school, they're going to be picking businesses like us, because we're resilient, you know. We can we don't really get shut down. I mean, there's so many poor people, not poor as in obviously no money, but there's so many poor people out there now that like they're just devastated watching Netflix all day and you know.
I know a lad, right? He's a qualified pilot, right? He qualified last February.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Corona hit, right? He couldn't even get a job at Amazon because he was under 25, even though he's a qualified passenger plane thingy. And like, he's now just a delivery driver for a local firm at the minute. And you think like, you just like go back a year and the jobs that everyone thought were safe, secure, have just shown their vulnerability, haven't they? And our industry especially has been lucky. Well, not lucky, but it's just been the way it's rolled. And hopefully it sort of reignites people's passion for this industry a bit as well, because there has been times, hasn't there, where the trades as a whole are seen as like the backup option, the worst case scenario.
100%, mate. Yeah, no,
like the naughty kid. Oh, you'll just go to the army type mentality, isn't it? It's like, oh, you'll just do a trade. When in reality, a trade for me, a trade is like, I want my children to all have a trade as a minimum, do you know?
It's like a survival tool, isn't it? Being a tradesman, we can't get knocked down.
We could rock up pretty much in any country,
no, 100%.
And shit still goes downwards. Yeah, so we can make a living wherever we are in the world with the skills that we have, and you just don't get that in like a corporate environment or a sort of professional environment, do you? I'm a big believer in the trades, and I fell out of love with it for a few years, and but yeah, definitely not.
It's good that you get it under your belt, because even if you do want to go and do other things, it's like riding a bike, innit? You know, you can get back into it quickly. But I remember when like I left school with nothing, and I used to love going to all the house parties, you know, when you're like 17, 8, or not even 18, but 16, 17, you go to house parties and stuff. And I remember being at house parties and all my mates were still at sixth form. My career path had just stopped from getting released and stuff. And I remember them like saying to me, oh, what are you doing now? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a gas engineer. And they would just be looking down on me like I was like a nobody. Do you know what I mean? And they'd be going to university. And I don't have anything against university, but a lot of people that go to university go there because they just want to, you know, party really. And the student loans were too easy to give out, and I know so many people that have been crushed with them university loans, because it's put them in a hole that now they've got to climb out of. Because back in 15, 20 years ago, university was the way to go, and if you didn't go there, you were a dumbass basically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But tradespeople are underestimated. It's like it's so technical. It's so technical, and especially in plumbing and heating, say there's like, you know, bathrooms, drainage, installation services, like there's so many different aspects. It's not, I mean, doctors obviously do 5 years or whatnot learning. It takes a similar time for them to become a doctor to what it is for us to become good tradespeople, you know? Keep trying to say tradesmen, but I need to stop saying that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a habit, isn't it? It's the generation that we grew up in, unfortunately, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
I always try to correct myself when I notice myself doing it, but people underestimate like it's not a 9-to-5 job. There's a lot of like emotions attached to it as well, isn't it? Maybe it's just me, but back in the day when I was out all the time, when you got home, it was never that was the end, because you'd be thinking, oh, that Mrs. Smith I've left with no heating because the part weren't in, or oh, did I finish that job correctly? It's not like you just turn up at a shop, do your shift and go home, is it? It's that there's that constant drag back into it. So it's a very
Etan here posted in the chat, it's a calling, not a job.
Yeah. How do you see the chat? Because I'm crap at this stuff on Zoom and stuff. Is it little messages underneath it?
There's a little chat bubble.
Oh, wicked.
Bubble, yeah.
Well done for doing this, guys. It's credit where credit's due. It's really good.
So, Ryan, I have a question for you, because, you know, a lot of this community is here because they're looking to get to that next level, right? Whatever that next level might be. And you talked about going from a sole trader to taking your first steps and putting in systems. So what were, if you can think back to when you transitioned to being on your own to actually taking those steps to build a sustainable business where you employed people, multiple engineers, grew it. What did you have to, what was your thinking? What you and Sarah, right, did it together. And so what did you put in place? Talk to us a little bit about your structure.
I'd be lying if I said I had structure, to be honest with you, because I didn't. I was good at what I'd done. That's not saying that being arrogant or anything, but so I had a curry a minute ago. It's regurgitating that.
We're used to it with Etan. He constantly eats on the show every week. So
yeah. I was good at what I'd done. I didn't run before I can walk. I'd done my time. To be honest with you as well, as much as what working for yourself, and I'm not just saying this like in case anyone who works for me is watching, but as much as working for yourself is good, there's also a massive thing about working for a company and getting looked after. That's not to be frowned upon in any way, shape or form. But basically for me, first thing I'd done basically was I learnt my trade. I didn't go and just try and sell a service that I couldn't do. And that's my pet hate, is bad workmanship and cowboys and people. And I've seen a lot of them in my time where people, you pay them top money and they'll just go out and basically steal money off people because they'll charge you top whack and not actually do the job correctly. But all I'd done really is when I was ready and I felt ready and I felt like it was my time to go on my own, I just done it. I didn't take any second thoughts. I just went and got a van. I paid $3,500 for my first van. I saved up the money to buy my first van. I didn't just go out there without any savings. I actually bought a property whilst I was working at British Gas, and when I knew I was starting my own business, I rented my property out and I moved back with my parents. Weirdly, this is a similar time that I sort of was seeing Sarah. And I remember when she first came around my parents' house, I was saying, "Oh, no, I do have my own place. And she's like, "Oh, whatever." Like me basically living at my other dad's house, blagging that, I've got my own gaff. But yeah, no, that was that. And then I just went out, started cracking on, doing jobs. And it was very quick. A friend of mine from school called Andrew, I think within about 6 weeks, he was doing plumbing at college. And I took him on. So that was that. And it was just like a snowball effect, like hopefully the recommendations went around and the word got around that there was a good service for a good price. And that was that. I think I had about probably 3 or 4 vans before Sarah came on. And I was always, I remember actually getting to a point where I was probably annoying customers where I was going in there, charging them to fit a boiler or something and being on my phone where another customer was ringing me, and I could sort of feel the fact that then, if you're going to pay someone for their time, you need to give them your time. Then I bought a little office, seen a little shop front in Morden, and Sarah just basically took a gamble on me and joined the firm really. And that was that. But to be honest with you, I don't think we've made it yet. I think we've far from made it. I don't think we're anywhere near where we could have been, and I think we could have been bigger by now. But probably that's me putting the brakes on and not wanting to get too big. I've seen and I've heard a lot of horror stories about companies that grow too fast, and then you lose your reputation, and people overspend, buy vans that they probably don't need, or lease vans or whatever they do. So I've taken it slow, but I feel like now, after seeing Corona hit, I'm glad that we weren't bigger than we needed to be, because when we needed to shrink down for that little bit of time, we could. And now I've learned a lot about people as well. I don't know what experiences you guys have had from COVID, but for me, it was priceless in a way, because I learned a lot about people, a lot about how people handle situations. People that I thought were that one way acted a completely different way than what I'd ever imagined, sort of thing. So, but I mean, I'm starving hungry at the minute. Like, I want COVID's, you know, it's restricting me at the minute. I feel like I've got a ball and chain around my ankles, and where I want to run, I'm sort of can't, you know, I've just got to limp around at the minute. So, yeah. But I mean, it's good times out there, you know.
Do you mind me asking, like, how big are you? How many guys, girls have you got in the business?
There's about 25 of us at the moment,
Wow.
give or take. You know, I mean, at the moment, I'm using some contractors. I've got a few good friends of mine who I worked with 10 years ago. I worked with 15 years ago. Some of them I worked 5 years ago, where a couple of them actually worked for me, you know, 2013. And to be honest with you, in a way, I think I used my ammo too quickly. Like some of the big guns who I know now, they came to me before I was ready for them, you know. But now, in a way, you know, no one burnt their bridges, and in our paths are crossing again. So, but yeah, I mean, at the moment, because of what's going on, I think you've got to be careful at the moment about bringing too many people on, you know, because you don't know what can happen. I mean, it was only 2, 3, 4 weeks ago that I heard that construction was going to shut down unless you're working outside, you know. So, and then I heard that it was only going to be emergency jobs, which obviously for any tradesperson is no good, because even if it is an emergency job, that customer's going to have to decide whether it's an emergency in their own head, you know, or in his own head. So, yeah, I can. Sometimes I don't come up for air, guys. So if I'm talking too much,
it's great to have someone fresh and new and someone that's doing stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's fantastic to hear. Quick, I've got one last question. I think Etan had something he wanted to ask you as well. But so where is Rye going then? Because obviously you've got lots of different areas that you cover, as in Rye Gas, Rye Drains, Rye Electrical, that you've sort of, it looks like you've brought it all into just Rye now. Yeah. So where do you want to be in like 3 years' time? What's the ambition?
Well, I mean, the story behind Rye is basically, I mean, I can't go into it too much because of legalities, but we were called Rye Gas, which is obviously the main business that people know us at, and we've got different things: home, sparks, build, blah 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 blah. But we got the trademark Rye basically for construction and for the businesses we do. I think the sky's the limit, if I'm honest with you, and I think that's not just in my business; that's in every business. I think there's so many doors out there now. People just need to open them doors. Do you know what I mean? You can't be looking at that door thinking, "Oh, how do you open it?" You've got to do your thing these days. I think a lot of people as well, you know, they say it's who you know, and that is it's 100% true. It is who you know, but it's also who you get to know. You know, we're all born with no, apart from obviously your mum and dad and your family and stuff, but we're all born, we've all got the same opportunities there. It's just whether or not you want to take your opportunities, isn't it? You know, so for me at the minute, you know, I'm going to keep on grafting. I'm going to keep on doing more hours than everyone else. I'm going to keep on. If I get knocked down, I'll get back up again. So for me, I want to take out the UK, and that's whether I do it as a business, you know, as one whole business, or there's always the franchising option. I have explored the franchising option before. 2 years ago, I'd done a lot of work with it, with a very big fish in the franchising world. But obviously it hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. But do you know what the main thing is, and I've noticed this because of COVID, and only because of COVID, is you're only as good as your team. Like you're only as good as your team. It's like a football team, you know. If you can have the owner of the football club, you can have, you know, the best fans, i.e. the customers. You know, if that team is no good, they're not going to win. They're gonna get relegated. They're not going to get, you know, they're not going to stay at the peak. So for me, the thing for the moment for me is to build the strongest team I physically can. And once you get the team, there's always work there. You know, anyone can put money on Google and get jobs, but it's obviously maintaining the jobs and maintaining the customers. So let's
what
see.
You just said there is such an important statement. You know, that's where most people fall down, is the delivery of the work. You know, or as in how you manage that customer through the business by the processes and the systems and the team that you mentioned. Getting the work, generally speaking, is one of the you know, there is an art to it, and there is skills and there's ways to improve that. But for most trades businesses, more work isn't what they need. You know, it's a good team. It's looking after the customer and stuff like that they need to work on, and it's not just about pouring jobs in at the top end. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's so many people out there, Wayne, and that are nicking a living. Like, there's so many bad tradesmen out there that's just, you know, they think it's easy, but they seem to come and go anyway. Like, I think I'm probably on my third pool of people that I've seen go out and blag it, and then they do a bit for 2 years, 3 years, and then they disappear. They disappear into the woodwork. Yeah, it's mad. Like, I don't know, I've had it three sets of 5 years, like. That you get these people that do crash courses or have done a year or two somewhere and then just think it's easy, you know. Like I say, it's hard to run a business, and that's why
it's one of the downsides with the modern world, I think, is that because of the internet, because of Facebook and social medias and that, people that moment in time shouldn't maybe be running a business and like you described it perfectly, they're nicking a living in essence, like, you know, and then they disappear again. And I think 20-30 years ago it wasn't possible, because you had to invest in the business. You know, you couldn't just get your mates to recommend you on Facebook and put some posts in some groups and stuff to muster up enough money to make a living. And but like you said, it does seem to cycle. You like, it's like I have like a radar now. I seem to spot these people, and I'll watch them for a little while, and I'll watch the process of it happening, and then like you say, they disappear again.
No, for sure. Wayne, can I ask you a question, mate?
Yes.
What made you fall out of love with what you do?
So my first business, I built too quickly. I was 25, I think, when it was at its biggest. Thought I knew it all, but I knew sod all. And basically I lost it all. And after that, I was just disillusioned with the industry. I had the excuse was that it wasn't my fault. Obviously it was the industry, that you couldn't make money out of this being a tradesperson, you know, and it took me a good year, 2 years to sort of realize that, no, that you know, that it is a good industry. And if I invest in myself as a businessman and invest in the people around me, then there is a good business to be built out of it. For a good 2 years at least, I hated everything about it. I was literally just surviving, really.
Thing is, though, about learning from your mistakes, it's the best type of learning, isn't it? Because, you know, you've already been there, you've done it, you knew where it's like, I suppose, going down the road and taking the wrong exit, and you know, you hit the bottom of the road, you turn around, and you don't happen.
And the next time you ain't going to do it again.
Exactly, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you know, the most successful people, mate, if you look into the majority of them, the majority of I've hit that dead end and turned around and got back on track. You know, there's a program on there's well, I think actually it's on tonight at 9:00, Undercover Billionaire. But there was one previous to this. There's one now. It's 3 people. They get $100. They get $100. They get an old banger truck. They get a mobile phone. They get dumped in America, and they have to make $1 million company within 90 days. Now it's 3 of them. Last season, a guy called Glenn Stearns, he done it, and I won't tell you the ending because it's worth watching.
What channel is this on?
It's on the weirdly, my electrical manager texted me about it. I'm sure it's on Tuesdays. I think it's at 9:00. But it's
Undercover Billionaire.
Undercover Billionaire. Yeah, I watched the first one. I think this is the second series. The second series with 3 new people. I watched the first one last week. It's wicked. But there was one last year, and it was about a guy, and it was wicked to watch, you know. And the thing is, he's a successful guy, but he lost it all first, and then made it all back, you know. Yeah. But the next one's even better because it's three different types of people that are all in business, and all of them have got different strategies. You know, you've got the silverback gorilla that comes in and he's like, "Where's my money?" Like, he's in a new town and he's like in his car, like, "Where's my money?" You know, like. And the first night he walked into, an RV? You know, the things you live in.
Yeah.
He walked into one of them showrooms as they're about to shut and basically befriended and blagged them for them to let him sleep in an RV. Then you had another person that went to the church because she was religious and she managed to get cover with them for a night. Then you had another person that used a bit of her $100 and she couldn't afford to pay again for the next night. So she said, "Let me work here instead to pay." But yeah, it's a really good program. I'd recommend.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Thank you, man. That sounds interesting,
good, man.
So,
good.
Ryan, I wanted to just touch a little bit on recruitment because, you know, it comes up again and again as one of the big business challenges in the trades in terms of, you know, recruiting, retaining good engineers, good staff members, and how important it is for you to, you know, maintain a good team. So what are if you can share some of the things that you've learned about recruiting and keeping good staff so that you can, you know, keep your team as relevant, up to date, and loyal and happy and thriving as possible?
I don't know the answer. Is the honest truth. What I would guess at the answer from previous experience is don't try and control anyone. You can give people perks. You can give them as much money as you can give them 10 grand more than another company would give them. If they don't want to be there, they're not going to be there. You know, so I don't think anyone's the same. I think different people want different things in life. They say you change every 7 years. So I think, you know, what someone might want at 25 might be different to what they want at 45. I think you just, for me, I think, you know, some people are plodders, aren't they? They just want to plod along, do their hours, go home, turn their phone off and have their family time or do their hobby or do whatever it is that they live for. You know, works just to pay the bills for most people. I don't think everyone can say they go to work because they love it. You know, very rarely would people go to work for free. I don't know. I mean, for me, you know, my team's important, but you can only do so much. You can only make sure they're not stressed out. You can only make sure that, you know, they're not coming to work to hate it. Really, obviously, they need to be paid the correct amount for what their role is. But I don't think there's any, you know, I've done everything. I've taken people out on nights out. I took, you know, one of my mates who was working with me, I took him to Vegas. Now, I've done all of that where you take people on holiday, you give them bonuses, you give them perks, you give them time off and all that. And if people are staying, they're staying. If they're leaving, they're leaving. Mm-hmm. One thing I do think as well, if someone is going to leave, you got to let them go as well. And then obviously if it goes well and they, you know, and no bridges are burnt or anything, and right, the doors are still open, you know.
Yeah.
But I've done it a few times where people, you know, they wanted to leave, and I just sort of turned their head. Whereas I don't think I'd do that ever again. I think now people are going to let them go and spread their wings, you know.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anyone else? Bradley, would you like to contribute? Any questions or any thoughts about?
Hey, brothers, I didn't know he was on.
He's on. B. Wilson.
Here's the pretty face of the group, eh? You're on mute, you donut.
Yeah.
Where's everyone from? Where is everyone? Wayne, where do you live, buddy?
I live in a town just outside of Luton. So just up the M1.
Do you support Luton?
So I'm an Arsenal fan, like by birth rates of my dad. Yeah. But I do go to Luton. Well, back in normal times, I do go a good few times a season. When I was younger, I used to go quite a lot to Luton. But to be honest, I've fallen out of love with football. Really have. Yeah. I would rather take my sons to their Sunday league, and I get more pleasure watching that than I do these prima donnas on 80 grand a week. I've just lost I don't know.
I know. What was it? The Man City game the Man City game the other day. That geezer took the penalty. Like that's negligence. He missed. He didn't even get it on target. Like he's on so much money. Like you got to at least hit the target. He hit. He hit the stand.
How can these guys really care? Like they just don't. Well, they definitely don't. Back when I grew up, with like Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane. Do you know the rivalries between Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Fulham, and Chelsea, Tottenham, and there was like real like passion about the game. Whereas now it just sort of maybe it's just because I'm getting old. I don't know.
Yeah, you're getting old.
You're getting old, mate. It's since you turned 34.
Old on the street.
How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You're definitely not from Luton.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm way up north.
Whereabouts?
Derby.
Okay, cool. I've been to Derby before. When I was at British Gas many moons ago, there was a five-a-side tournament there for them in the actual stadium. I think there's is there a big five-a-side thing complex near it or something?
Possibly.
JJB Stadium. Yeah.
On the ground.
Yeah, that's not too far though, is it? It's more Midlands, isn't it, Derby?
Yeah, it's not real northerner, is he? Nah, definitely not.
No, not quite. It's just a quick question for Ryan, really. Obviously, you've got quite a big business now, and you spend a lot of time running your business. You're probably not going to answer this one truthfully. Have you got a good work to family kind of hobby balance, or is it more?
I'll definitely be honest with you, and the answer is no, I haven't. Like, I work far too many hours, and I come home and I carry on working. I'm yet to have any kids. I've got a dog, and even my dog majority of the time lives with my mother-in-law. So I work a lot, mate. I mean, that isn't it's not something that really stresses me out, to be honest with you, because I can't really moan about it because I do it. I don't have to do it. I probably could change that up quite easily and take a step back. But
when you love what you do, and you're so passionate about it, and without children as well is a plus side from that perspective, is that your focus and attention can be a lot more on that than say someone like myself. I've got 4 children, so just by human nature, I get pulled out of the business a lot more because of that side of my life that I have to keep going, if that makes sense.
I mean, do you know what? I wish I was more passionate about going to the gym or something, because I've got to start going to the gym. I hate it, but there's people out there, isn't there, that they're happy to go and work out twice a day, and they don't see that as a chore or whatever. Whereas to me, that's a chore to have to go to the gym. And
one of the things that I coach people in, like smaller businesses, is the 3 Bs, and it's your body, so yourself, your fitness, your health, your mindset, obviously your business, and then your balance, which is all the other side of life, like your friends, family, loved ones, and stuff. And I fundamentally believe that there's times when business takes focus or your personal life has to take focus. But I think you should always try, where possible, to keep a conscious eye on all them 3 areas. So you don't let it lean too far one way. But that said, I'm going to contradict myself here a little bit, because I also believe that you have to put the work in now to not have to work as hard later. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would definitely say where you are now, you're all in on building this business, and at some point the fruits of that will be that you will be able to step further away from it should you choose to.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what I was saying about everyone's different, isn't they? I think some people have different stamina and different pace. Some people go very fast at the beginning, and it's a hard one. I mean, listen, if I was stressed out, I'd rein it in a little bit. But I suppose that especially as a gas engineer, that's what the summer months are for, because them ones, they're a bit more quieter, aren't they? Than the winter months. And there's other jobs as well that are a bit more seasonal, like gardening and stuff like that in the summer. No doubt that's that's their heyday, and in the winter when it's snowing and stuff, they can't go out and cut the grass and stuff. But so this your original company name, you guys, and what was it, and what because I know you got a couple of little umbrellas, different umbrellas sort of thing.
Is that directed at Francis?
But yeah, both of you. So you teamed up, have you, on this, or
we're not officially in business together. We like I do a little bit of work with Francis and Carolina, as in for my plumbing and heating business, but then I also assist them in their business in certain areas. So it's just a bit more of a mutual agreement, isn't it? Really,
Sweet.
I think like it all got started like where
Civil partnership, that's what it's
yeah,
called.
it is it's a partnership. And so basically, we are helping trades businesses accelerate in the growth. Okay. And the thing is that where we had a weakness as a marketing technology company, and our weakness was I am not a tradesperson. Okay. And I was looking around to actually, I found Wayne and I loved what he did. I loved his work and I loved his podcast. And I thought, you know what, our clients can really benefit from the coaching element because, leads in marketing, as you know, that's a very small part of a larger business problem, a problem of, say, mindset, business structure, systems, resources, recruitment, all of that stuff. And in all honesty, we're not best equipped to solve those problems. And so actually with some of our clients, Wayne provides the coaching element to help coaching around lead management, sales, scripts, closing, mindset, how to attract, nurture, convert customers. So in that respect, we started working together. And then we both have a love for like helping smaller businesses elevate. Mm-hmm. And so we and also for personal development, where we think that there's a real gap in the market, especially in this COVID era where everyone, not just trades, but every business is having trouble at the moment.
Oh, no, definitely. It's good. It's good to talk, isn't it? And it's good if you can give each other hints and tips and everything like that. Then, there's enough work to go around as well. So, people don't need to keep all their cards close to their chests and everything.
Absolutely.
That's
actually,
very, very true.
Open. We've been open and we invite everybody to collaborate. Like this Zoom call is an open platform. And we say to everyone in the community is you can jump on the Zoom every Wednesday. And if you have a challenge, a business challenge or a life challenge, or you have questions, you actually have this unique opportunity. A lot of people don't take it. But some smart people do take it and they jump on the call and they've got questions for Wayne. They've got questions for Etan, who's running a successful, business as well. And we're just helping each other. And there's a lot of people that have come to us and they said, you know what, we saw what you're doing. It inspired me to think differently. I'm just getting my new software going. I'm actually going to try marketing for the first time, etc. So we know that these are actually helping, people out there. And there's a silent audience as well, that they're not always the most vocal, but then they crop up and they say, well, we saw your program and I've done this in my business. And that's really
a perfect example of that, Francis, right? A gentleman literally has just messaged me, right? And I don't know the name, so I haven't seen him comment, like, or ever be active. And I won't read the whole message, but in essence, he's just said, thank you for putting all the stuff that we put out there. It's really helped him through a hard time lately with what he's going through personally and stuff, and I get these like all the time, constantly, people that I've never heard of, because not so many people will be watching or listening to this later and they're not actively involved, but it's reaching, it's starting to really reach a lot of people.
Do you guys record this, or do you just go live and let it go?
So it's recorded. I put the audio on my podcast.
Oh, cool.
And the video it says live streaming in Facebook right now.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate.
That will stay in Facebook too. So
That's good, man. That's good. I mean, see the other day then, Wayne, I see you put, I'm pretty sure it was yourself, you put something up like a boiler installation in Surbiton or somewhere. It's near where I'm based.
Yeah.
That's good, mate. Where did you get that
Mate,
from?
well, this is a funny story. I'm going to have to share it. So first of all is I would rather the lead go somewhere, you know, and be utilized within the community. So whenever I've got an out of area lead, I always post it into the group. But this individual one that you mentioned, right? A gentleman, I'm not going to name him. A gentleman commented, "Yeah, I'll have it." So I sent it to him, and then about 2 minutes later, he went, "Oh, that's your website, is it, Wayne?" And it was him. He had put it in to see the website in action. Then put his hand up for the lead, not realizing it was my website that he had just been on, and put his details in. So fair play to him, though. He owned up. He put his hands up.
Do you know what? If I'm honest with you, Wayne, I was going to message you, like, because the thing is, if you put a boiler installation up, mate, that's like me. That's like a carrot to me. You know what I mean? Like, but because someone had got there first, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stand on their toes, man. Like, I don't want to compete.
But
if someone's there first,
as a community, we should all be doing it. You know, we always have jobs that, like, especially for the smaller, like with 25 people, you cover a big area. But for people like me, I get leads all the time, and I'm happily dish them out to people, man, because I'd rather it go to somebody slightly connected to me than just some random big company or whatever. You know, so. Yeah, I would encourage everybody to do it. If there's jobs and stuff that people can't do, get involved, get the community to help it, and help pass the money around.
Yeah. So see off the tools, the Facebook group you set up, did you?
So that's my group.
Mate.
Yeah,
that's good, man. Well done. What's the do you know how many what tradespeople you got in there and stuff?
So the vast majority are heating engineers and plumbers. We do have other trades in there, but the vast majority are plumbing and heating engineers across the UK.
Okay, and they're only in the UK?
Generally, there's a handful of American people, but generally speaking, it's a UK based. And then I've got another group called Plum Chat, which is predominantly plumbers. That's got 25,000 members. That has.
Wow.
And that's, again, that has more mixed trades in there. You know, like we get a lot of builders and tilers and stuff in there as well. But still, predominantly 80% is plumbing and heating based. So that's where I've really focused my attention on, because it's what I know. Do you know? I don't know about carpentry. I don't know about electrical. Well, to a degree, I do for heating, but that plumbing and heating is what I've done since I was 15. So it's what I know and what I still love.
What boilers do you fit?
I'm a Worcester man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What about yourself?
I can't say that, can I? I mean, like, Worcester's obviously and Valent are the ones that everyone fits, aren't they? So we fit. Probably we're in a way, I suppose we're in bed with both of them, right? But I think with Brexit and stuff like that, I think with Brexit and stuff, we might have to be a bit careful with what's happening with boilers. Like, maybe British boilers need to maybe be looked at a bit more, just for parts and also just to help England,
help the country. Yeah, no. Yeah. I believe Baxi are the only ones, aren't they, that are Baxi and Ariston, is it?
I think Ideal are British as well, I think. But the thing is, I was thinking about this. I bought a little caravan down by the coast in lockdown 1. Like, once it kind of opened again, I was like, I want to get a little break and whatnot. I went down to this place and it looked amazing. It was really sunny. Like, the pool was heaving. So I bought it. I went back there about a week later. It was like raining, miserable. It wasn't like the place that I thought it was. But no, I mean, like, even today I rang them to see if they can go and check up on it. And I sort of said to them, I've only probably stayed in the caravan like 2 or 3 times. I said, can I upgrade? Because I know it's going to be one of them things now this summer, isn't it? There's going to be a lot of staycations, which is obviously what they're called now. But I think it's good. I think, like, we need to be putting the money back into this country, especially for the next
especially
year or two.
now. Yeah, definitely.
for
We
sure.
need to.
And then there's so many
help
good
each
places
other.
in the UK to visit, isn't there? You know.
I love it. Do you know, I the last thing I want to be doing is dragging me and my 4 kids across the bloody tarmac onto a plane, sit on a 3-4 hour plane, then an hour coach to go and sit. You know, yeah, you get the weather, but apart from that, I'd stay in England all day long. Do you know, I love Cornwall. Cornwall's my little escape. I've missed out on free. We were meant to be going next week as well. Gutted, man. I like to get down there as much as I can. Really, beautiful part of the world.
I'm about to convert one of my vans into a little camper van.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I've got this VW. I've got a VW Crafter. But I bought it off a chap about 2 years ago. Sorry, I keep burping. This is Vindaloo coming back up at me. I see Atan was eating his curry a minute ago.
He loves it.
But yeah, I bought this VW. I got it for a really good price. It was a builder. He's working up in London, and because of the ULEZ or it is ULEZ, isn't it?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because of that, he sold it. But he basically gave me I had to pay him basically what he owed on the finance because he just didn't want it to go back to VW basically. But it's sort of becoming I've got to get a load of new vans so we don't have to pay this extra London charge and stuff. But this van, I'm definitely gonna convert it and hopefully be able to take it, to these places like Cornwall and stuff.
Nice.
If you need anyone to help with that, my friend is involved in a business that specialises in VW conversions.
Mate, they're amazing, aren't they? The only thing is, I've had a few prices off of different people to do it, but it is big money, man. Like, it's big money to do it.
But the results are phenomenal.
Hey guys, let me just interject because we're hitting the hour, and Etan Basil has a few questions wanted to pose out and before we head out tonight. So Etan,
Sorry, Etan, man.
That's all right, mate. It's Wayne's World, not Etan's World. But, I miss you, firstly. Like,
yeah, it's been a while, isn't it?
Talk to me. Talk to me. So, listen, Ryan, really nice to meet you, mate.
You too,
and like, like great, a lot of respect and everything for what you've been doing. I actually spoke to Sarah like about 6 to 8 months back, just to like introduce and say hi and everything, and kind of pointed her towards the group. I had no idea that
wicked, man.
there was a connection with Francis. It's just like really random. But we're so with one of my business, which is my main business, which is Elite, which is like plumbing and heating.
Cool.
We're going down the same route, as in like we've just gone into electrical, and I wanted to divide the company up. So I wanted it to be like Elite Group. And underneath that, to have Elite Heating, electrical, and compliance, and then renewables. But the problem is that I'm worried that, firstly, if I change the name, because we're Elite Heating and Plumbing at the moment, and if I change the name, firstly, I'm going to catch a gas inspection. So that's the first thing I'm worried about. Not that it would be a problem. Like, we're all very professional.
It's just a hurdle you don't need.
Just hassle. Just hassle. And the other thing is like the implications of it. I mean, like, in terms of accounts and bank accounts and different company accounts, I mean, is it like a massive? Is it a massive thing to do? I mean,
can you not just do it all under the same thing for the time being?
Well, that's what I'm doing at the moment, but I wanted to know long term because I saw that you've done it with Rye Group, and that's what I wanted to do because I wanted to get rid of the plumbing kind of eventually. And just,
do you know what? I wish all of us just started from the beginning without like. Plumbing and heating and gas and electrical. It'd be so much easier that way.
Yeah, but then they'd be like what group of what?
And do you know what? Group's not a good thing. It's not always a good thing either. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just put group on there just because they'll start off and want to look bigger than they are. But do you know what? With looking big, some customers don't want a big company. Some customers just want a one-man band. You know, so there's probably no right and wrong.
I'll very quickly tell you the reason why, and then ask you what it was like for you. The reason is that So because obviously we're known for plumbing, heating, and gas at the moment, and our customers primarily use us for that. Now with electrical, I wanted to launch it as its own brand, but within the same kind of structure, and I wanted people to get to know us as electricians only as well on that side of things. So it was more about kind of customer experience rather than like, oh, we do everything, we're great kind of thing. Just to be like, this is our specialist electrical division. But I mean, like, did you like split it all up into different bank accounts and bill out from different bank accounts?
No, not really. I mean, the thing that I've learned is plumbing and electrics are very similar, aren't they? You know, so I don't think, I don't think people are too bothered about whether it's, electrics or plumbing. If someone's changing a tap or they're changing a light fitting, they want to know how much it's going to cost and who's doing it and how quickly you can do it and to make sure that it's done in one hit. Personally, I'd probably just keep it in the same boat until you need to change it, like even from, I think, insurance purposes and everything like that, you covered, like, so, and I think, when you've got to pay one public liability insurance, and you might as well just put it all in one. Personally, I would say so, because it is going to be, you are going to have to end up paying two different things, two different tax returns, two different VAT returns, two different load of insurances. Personally, I would personally keep it in there until you can't. You can maybe tweak. You can maybe tweak your trade name maybe to services, but at the same time, plumbing and heating, plumbing and electrical, renewables is basically electrics and plumbing, isn't it? It's just a different type of fuel.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
So, I mean, me personally, I think keep it under the same, wear the same hat with it. But
thank you.
You sound like a nice guy, mate. It's good. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Can I just one more? Just one more.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. Just one more, just very, very quickly. Like you were saying about your staff, about how, like if they're ready, kind of looking after them and stuff like that, and giving them more time and giving them bonuses and giving them this and giving them that. Did you get? How did you keep tabs? Because obviously we've got half of the amount of guys that you have, but how do you keep tabs on what everyone wants and how they're doing? Do you have like monthly check-ins with them or 6 monthly or and then do you like set out plan of actions like development plans and things like that, or do you just make sure that your phone's always on if they need you?
Yeah, more the phone's always on, to be honest with you. Going back to what I said sort of earlier on this evening, I wouldn't try and claim that we're the finished article yet. I think we're still on a very early journey here. I would love to have the time to sit down with people. Sometimes I feel like I'm rushing when I'm even talking to my own guys, and it's not nice. You want to give people your time. I think it's hard, isn't it? I suppose like having a kitchen and having loads of food and people to feed and not wanting to burn stuff and not wanting to waste food. Everything's rushed with plumbing and heating, isn't it? Everyone wants you there yesterday, and also at times it can be famine and feast. I mean, from my diary, we've always only been a week or two in advance. Like that's always been we've. My wage bill is ridiculously high, but if I was to look in 2 weeks' time, probably 90% of my diary's empty, and that's been like that since day dot. But yeah, I would say I would love to have all the procedures, and one day I'll definitely make sure that happens. But they say Rome weren't built in a day, was it? All takes time,
right,
That's
right. Thank you.
So Rye wasn't built in a day.
Nah, do you know what? I've used that a few times, yeah. So, but now you guys are all cool, man. You're all really nice. I can see. I can.
You're welcome any week, Wednesday, 8 p.m, mate. So you're more than welcome to come on whenever you want to, man. It's been a pleasure getting to know a bit more about you.
Crack open one of those bottles of JD you've got. I can see behind you. Bring one.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't even drink JD, to be honest with you. But this one here is Brewdog, and I only tried it the other day. That's a business. That's a force to be reckoned with, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
They have smashed it, man.
Yeah, I love going to the Brewdog in Camden. That used to be one of my Sunday treats.
It is good. It is nice, mate. It makes you go a bit wild though. Like I had a night on drinking them and only them, and geez, man, it got me a bit too pickled too early. And now I've gone back to stuff I know, like San Miguel and stuff. You know,
I'm a Peroni guy. I am.
I like Peroni as well.
Beer.
Well, guys, we're hitting an hour and 10 minutes. It's been entertaining, educational. I think that the community is going to love this one, especially, because
Definitely.
to learn from you, Ryan, and to get some motivation on how and what's it all about, right? And we all have the same challenges. So thank you very much
man.
for joining.
No,
Wayne,
thank you. It's been wicked, mate. Nice one, guys. It's been brilliant, man.
Yeah, and Wayne, you want to give your outro last words to the?
I would just, it's a bit of a call to arms. I would say that if you're listening to this bit of the show, it means you've put up with an hour and 10 minutes of us talking. So hats off to you. But I would encourage you to actually take some action on the information. So start actually applying some of the stuff that you're listening to and you're picking up on these shows. Start applying it to your business. It might not work, right? Yeah, it might not. If it doesn't, move on to the next thing. But you've got to try these things. And there's been some great discussions. I can't wait to keep running these shows every Wednesday. I really enjoy them. And hopefully we'll get some more guests on and get some more inputs as the show grows. So yeah, have a good rest of the week, everyone.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Wicked, guys. Then au revoir, s'il vous plaît.
See you later.
Nice one. See you later, guys. Bye.
Coming at you, yeah.
I've seen loads of things on like TikTok when people don't shut off their Zoom.
They stand up and they got no trousers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably make sure that like I put the laptop in the garden or something to make sure that it's shut off. Wicked, guys. Take care.
Take
Stay
care,
safe, everyone.
Nice one.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Lead Hero is the UK's #1 marketing automation platform for ambitious trades businesses looking to save time, make more money, and level up. Because just getting leads is not enough anymore. Lead Hero will help you triple your sales and maximize profits with our job flow acceleration system. Visit leadhero.ai to learn more.
I really hope you enjoyed the show. I just wanted to put it out there for anyone listening that I offer business coaching, but also life coaching. My life is centered around something called the 3 Bs, which stands for body, business, and balance. When you work with me as a coach, we tackle all 3 aspects of life. So you as an individual, body, mindset, health, fitness, knowledge, education. Business B obviously stands for your business, improving, maximizing opportunities, elevating, making more money. And balance stands for your friends, family, loved ones, making time for everything in your life. And the 3 Bs is the core element to that. If you'd like to learn more, I would ask you to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you might be consuming my information. Or you can email me directly at wayne@offthetools.co.uk. I'm here waiting to assist you to elevate across all aspects of life. Have a good one. No excuses. Let's go.